What make you all decide to say, you know what, I ain't gonna wait for anymore. I'm gonna just take this direction and do this.
So that goes based on the doctor's recommendation.
How important was it that you have such a strong support system?
Do you experience pain? Because you talk about numbness.
It was an experience to have to do MRI. They tell me first it will be 45 minutes, but I end up staying in there like about 2 hours.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Talk. Before I start the episode, I want to ask everybody to subscribe. I can see that last time it was 76. We reached down to 72% of you all have subscribed to the channel. I try to make it down to at least 50% of you all subscribe to the channel. So if you're watching this episode right now and you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so that you know when videos drop each time. And yeah, we're sitting down today with a special guest, which is Ingra Bennett. She's going to be talking today. We're going to be talking about MS, her childhood, singing, and a lot of different topics. But I'm going to allow herself to formally introduce herself. So, Ingra Bennett, take it away.
Thank you, Jaquil. Thank you, Paula, for this opportunity and this platform to bring some information about MS and to just, talk.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. Who is Ingra Bennett? Wow. I would like to say that I like to sing, or what I like to do, I like to sing. I like to travel, learn about new cultures, new people. I like to eat. I am a foodie. I love God, and family is important to me. Yeah. Yes.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Ingra, for being here. As you can see, all of us have on orange today.
Thank you.
In representation for the Awareness Month for MS.
Yes.
I noticed on your status you really promoted, bringing awareness to MS. So I said, let me, have an interview with it and get more information about it. Because on a previous episode on The Talk, we had a conversation with Mr. Tyro Mortman, who also briefly shared about his experience with his father, who was going through it. And I said, okay, I'm eager to know more information about this. Yeah. And I see you really promoting it. So I said, it would be good to have you here on the interview to tell us what really MS is about.
Yes. Well, again, thank you for having me. March month is MS Awareness Month. So hence the reason for me wearing orange, and you all, thank you, I appreciate it. So what is MS? MS is a neurological disorder. And it actually is basically, simply explained, is that the signals that your brain is sending through your nerves, the myelin sheet that covers the nerves of your brain, they are slowly deteriorating, which would mean that, so before I never used to wear glasses, and now I'm wearing glasses because from time to time my brain tells my eyes, oh, you're not working good, something is wrong, and that has to do with the nerves. So that's the wires. Mm-hmm. So it's telling my hand, oh, you can't lift up. So some persons don't realize this, but your brain is what gives the order to speak, to blink, to walk, to talk, to do certain things. And like I always say, some people debate what's more important, the heart or the brain. I am team brain all day because, it's very important. I mean, the heart is important too, but the brain,
exactly.
And just to get back to really understand what MS is that, sometimes how you have a charger and the cord, you maybe have to place it a different way. We usually say the cord has a short. Yeah. Well, sometimes I have a short inside there. So it has to do with the myelin, that's the sheet that is protecting the nerves. It is gradually deteriorating, and therefore the signals and the gets a little cross. That is basically what it is. And it is a progressive disease. So maybe 10, 20 years from now, I may not look and when I say look like this, maybe I be in a wheelchair or maybe not. You know, it just depends.
Yeah.
I just try to stay as positive as possible. I try to do what I have to do, eat how I have to eat, you know, and try to just be positive.
Yeah. And what was the symptoms you felt in the early stages?
Yeah, I felt, I know every symptom. And it started maybe in about 2022. The first symptom was on my right side, my right eye. I saw a haze. And I asked my mom, you know, it have a haze there or so? And she was like, no. I told her, maybe check my eyes. Maybe I have something on my eye that is making me see a haze.
Yeah.
She said, no, you don't have anything there. So I went to the, you call him, the eye doctor, ophthalmologist, right there in front of the airport.
Yeah.
And they checked my eye, the optician, and he was like, no, your eyes are perfect. Your eyes are perfect. Okay, I say, okay. I said, maybe I'm doing too much computer work at work, so let me just get a glasses with a blue light. Let me just do that, and, you know, but before that, I never used to wear glasses, so, you know. And then after that, then I realized my gait, so how I walk from time to time, my foot, it would slow down just for a little bit, but then I'm like, okay. Then it was in January when I heard myself, and I was like, why you sound like this? But it would just be for a short time. It would come and go.
Yeah.
And then in February, I started to get spasms on my right side, where my hand and my foot, this whole side, it would go limp. So if I'm walking and I try to force to walk, I go just fall along because I don't have the more balance. And then my speech, and I was like, nah, I was sounding like a mix between a drunk person and somebody who getting a stroke. Now, in this period, I asked my parents and like people around me, oh, you don't, I not sounding different? Like, you all hearing this? And they're like, no, everything okay. And so, and then I just learned how to deal with it.
Yeah.
So when I was feeling it coming on, I would just stop talking and just, even at work, I would just, if I'm speaking to someone, even on the phone, I would say 1 minute, let it pass, and then continue.
Yeah.
But then there was this one time I remember I was by my parents. My mom was busy doing something on the computer, and I started to talk. I talked through the episode, the spasm, and she turned around and she was like, girl, no, you getting a stroke? Something wrong with you? How you sound like that? And I was like, you see, this is what I've been telling you all. I hearing myself sounding different. She said, no, we got to get this checked out. She's like, you having a stroke? I said, well, then I'm having multiple strokes a day.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it was becoming more frequently, you know? And then in January, I went to the doctor, and she told me, maybe your blood just low. We're going to test it and see what the results say. The results came back. Yes, my blood was low, but my blood usually does be low, and I don't ever
Wasn't anything different.
Yeah, you know? So she said, well, let's send you to the neurologist on St. Martin just to make sure. But I had to do an MRI, but I ended up doing a CT scan and they couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
Now, while on St. Martin,
But you did a CT scan because that was recommended?
that was recommended. It was on I don't know if it was a mistake or whatever, but I did it still. But my brain was okay, nothing. They didn't see anything.
Yeah.
And then when I went to, now the neurologist's recommendation on St. Martin was an MRI. So I carried it to the ZEACN or the ZVICA office as we know it to get a new date to do the MRI. And the person in the office, he said, well, I don't know when this going to be because the MRI machine, when it ain't down, it always full.
Yeah.
And anyways, you don't have a choice.
Oh, wow.
When he said those words, it like struck a chord in me, and I was like, who don't have a choice? You probably don't have a choice. I have some money, and I going to go Colombia and check myself.
Yes.
And that's what I did. I was upset. I called my mom first, and she was like, okay, we're going to check it out. But my father is a doer. He going to plan it. He going to buy the tickets. He going to make the appointments. He going to do everything because they go to Colombia to check themselves and so on.
Regular. Yeah.
The next week I was in Colombia, and the next week I already had a neurological appointment. I had everything set up, MRIs and everything I did while I was there. Now, if I did wait for the appointment, that was in March. I went to Colombia and I stayed about 3-4 weeks. And if I did wait on that appointment from St. Martin to use the MRI machine there, I did the MRI in May. So it was a good 2 months after. Also, in Colombia, I did a few tests. I did a few MRIs, blood work, of course. I did a spinal tap, lumbar puncture.
Yeah.
What's
a spinal tap, really?
Yes, where they had to get the fluid from in my spinal columns, my cerebral fluid, because it comes from the brain and flows in to the spinal cord. That is the only way really they can tell if you have a neurological illness, disease, and specifically MS.
Not through blood work.
Not through blood work, no. Not through blood work, no.
Yeah, because, sometimes it'll say, get your blood checked.
Yes. Well, I mean, through your blood, you could see other things, but you would not be diagnosed with MS through your blood work. Yeah. So then I did that on Colombia, and it was a experience to have to do MRI. They tell me first it will be 45 minutes, but I end up staying in there like about 2 hours.
Wow.
And then to be called back again to say you have to go back in the MRI machine after you made up your mind that you're never doing that again. But
would you relax in that moment?
Not really.
When you say you expected it to be 45 minutes, but then it ended up being 2 hours.
I know that I didn't want it to have to start over. Because you have to be still, and if you keep on moving, they have to start back over. And I know I didn't want that. So with a lot of prayer and singing in my mind and thinking about my uncle, the deceased, Kilo, that's how I made it through the first MRI. I'm a young, vibrant person. I go, and this slowed me down.
You can tell you're a bubbly person.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, and then on top of that, living in a small community and you're hearing so much rumors about yourself.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So if I didn't know that I was strong or that I could, face whatever, I know now.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but I must say that I don't let that hold me back. I just continue doing what I have to do day by day. Some days it's a little more difficult than some, because some days when I wake up in the morning, I feel like I didn't go to sleep. Like I'm tired, but a tiredness, like I can't explain. It's not like, oh, I'm lazy and tired. It's your body is tired. You just can't go. And sometimes at work, sometimes I can't find the words, or I don't know. I forget. There's all of that, brain fog. Sometimes if I walk from here to the porch, I'm tired, overexertion. And I am learning myself again through different groups that I am in the MS community. And
is that like on social media?
Yes, like Instagram, and then on WhatsApp as well, because so when I found out it could be MS, or like it was more leaning to MS, I tried to get the experience from persons who already have it. So like I have a contact on St. Martin, a young lady, one on Bonaire, she's Susanna. She helped me a lot. So, I reach out to them and I see, boy, it wasn't strange what was happening to me. They're going through more or less the same things. Some, like for instance, the lady on Bonaire, her symptoms was worse than mine. I was to the point where maybe I had a walker. I call it my G-Wagon. I had a walker to assist me with walking, but she was wheelchair bound. She helped me a lot to, find out if I have any questions.
So different variations between MS then?
Oh, most definitely. There are 4 types.
Okay,
so
what are
first of all,
types?
let me just explain to you what it is. Sometimes, the brain sends signal to your body to blink, to talk, to chew, to do everything, and you don't really notice it. So for those people who arguing, what more important, the brain or the heart? I on the brain side. Yeah. So your brain sends signals, and through the signals, they go through, you could say, wires, and the wires are called nerves. And around the wrapping of the nerves, there is this sheet called myelin that is protecting you protecting your brain from not shocking itself, from not doing, and for the signals to go through to say, Ingra, blink. Ingra, your eyes are perfect.
Imagine
Ingra,
that.
talk.
And now that'll happen in seconds.
Yes.
Well, less than a second.
So with MS, what basically is happening is that the myelin that is wrapped around your nerves, they are gradually deteriorating. So it causes maybe, you know, like when you have a charger, and it have a short.
Yeah.
You know, like when you plug in your phone to charge, it won't charge right that minute, but then it charges when you twist it a different way.
Yeah.
So with the brain, it's telling me, oh, Ingra, your eyes are bad. You can't see good. But if I go do an eye test right now, it's good. But it's what my brain is telling me.
Wow.
So that's why I feel tired. That's why sometimes, like, my brain is foggy. Sometimes it, like, you know, like, how you say it? Sometimes when I speak the words, sometimes they jumble up. So I try to speak slow. I try to, you know, and I'm learning. When I say I'm learning my body again, it's like, because I'm on the go, but I can't always be on the go anymore. Yeah. Sometimes I just have to tell people straight up, no, I don't know what you're talking about, because I can't sit down here and try to
That is good to share that, you know, because especially here.
But everybody, like in my immediate circle, they know that. If you're going to speak with me, just come straight, because I don't have no time to, like, figure out what you're talking about. Like, if you say, oh, the thing over there, like, no, they got a lot of things over there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you have to be specific.
Yeah. I see you mentioned, for example, you talked about before that you get a referral to go to Martin, and you didn't get the outcome that you didn't necessarily like the outcome you get, and some people just wait for the second, the third, fourth, fifth, sixth referral, and then what make you all decide to say, you know what, I ain't gonna wait for anymore. I'm gonna just take this direction and do this.
I was deteriorating fast. March the 8th, 2023, Vocé Dynamico, we sang at the Women's Day Gala, and I couldn't sing standing up. I had to sing sitting. And my sister, because she was around me so much, she would know when she could see when the spasms was coming. So I sing soprano. That's the high part, and Vashti can sing soprano. So what she would do sometimes, she would have to knock her and be like, okay, and then she would sing. So all of that, I was deteriorating, and it was faster than between August and December 2022. Now, if I had wait on ZTACN or ZVK to really send me now to do an MRI, this happened March the 15th, 2023 was when I went to do the CT scan, and I went to Colombia the week after. I stayed about 3 weeks to almost a month in Colombia. When I came back, I only had to wait on the spinal tap results. Everything else I know, and the neurologist was already leaning to MS. In May is when I got the appointment to do the MRI, and I had already been diagnosed from the doctor down there, and I was already working with a neurologist. What she did on St. Martin, and that is the neurologist on St. Martin, what she did was she took the test what St. Martin did, but they did their own MRI. She didn't do a spinal tap again, and I was glad for that. But
why didn't she do that?
Because it's not necessary. If you have one already and then taking
it's painful though?
Well, it is more like a pinch. The needle is this long, and you have to stay very, very still, or else you can get paralyzed.
Oh, it's like down lower in your back? I guess you do that for C-section, right?
I think the needle was so long. Oh my gosh.
C-section.
And then I had to stay very still, and my mom, she was there holding me. And the doctor was like, if you have to squeeze her hand, squeeze it, but do not move.
Yes, that'll be so... And then after that, you get headaches and so, but then after is okay. But the doctor did tell me all of that and so, but to answer your question, it was because I saw myself deteriorating at such a rate that I said, no, something is wrong. I was preparing my mom that maybe I have a tumor in my head, and I was telling her, like, look, if you could get in an operating room, because when you're operating a tumor in your head, most of the time you just be awake, and they just keep you awake to know if they touch something that they shouldn't have, and you know, to see if you're still talking, you can blink. And so I tell her, make sure you could get in that operation room. You have to be there. And in worst case scenario, like I was preparing her for the risk, but never for MS. At first I was like, why I have to have MS? Why I don't dead? Because, like, you know, you don't know about You was doing research on your own?
Well, I had to because I thought this was a white people sickness, first of all. But then I remember my mom's uncle, so my uncle, he had MS, and I was like, is it a family thing? Then I had to research, and they say, no, when you do the research, it's not genetic, but it is just more prevalent now in African Americans, so black people, than what it thought, and especially females.
Oh.
So females of any race, more than men.
Yeah.
And you know, at first diagnosed with MS, I was like, boy, I'm going to be an invalid. And so because seeing my uncle, I always saw him in a wheelchair. I never saw him walking, talking, up, doing things. So I thought that, you know. And then gradually he got bedridden, and then eventually he died. So that was my only picture of MS. I didn't know of anybody else. So that's why it was also helpful for the lady on St. Martin and the one on Bonaire for me to see that, okay, they're living still. They're doing their thing.
How did you find out from that? Did you get recommendation for those persons nearby?
One of my colleagues on Bonaire, one I really talk with, she was like, you know, Ingra, I know this girl, you know, I think she have this, the same thing like you. You want me to share your number with her? I'll share it with her, and if she contacts you, then it's okay. I was like, okay. Through another friend, the one on St. Martin, she was like, Ingra, this girl have the same thing, I think, so I will give you her contact, and you just contact her when you're ready. And that's what I did.
Wow.
But then I realized there's a whole community out there. There's a whole community
that is unknown.
Specifically also a whole community of black women living with MS, because it affects you from your head to your toe, even your hair, your nail growth, everything is like, geez, man. You know, but the community is strong, especially on Curaçao. Curaçao have a strong MS community. That is now being recognized under the, or not under, but that is now being recognized as a part of the Dutch MS society or community. Yes. Last year they had a congress on Curaçao for MS. I was unable to attend. It was around the same time as Station Day. But I was invited, and I keep up to date with them because I have a contact from a lady on Curaçao. She reached out to me actually through the lady on Bonaire.
So that's sorry, go ahead.
No, you made me think on, because you talk about the Women's Day.
Yes.
And I was there taking pictures. I didn't even pick up on it. I know you went sit on a chair, like, okay, maybe they're just trying to do something.
No, but you see,
a bit different.
Other persons pick up on it. For instance, like my close friends or my family, they was like, how come you was sitting down? And then I like, you know, I ain't too good. And then they were like, okay.
I thought it was like, okay, we can do a talk, and honestly, so I didn't really pick up on it.
They didn't really go with preparation.
But at first I was going to stand. But then I got a spasm in front of the girls, and they were like, no, you sitting down.
Okay.
Yeah, because this side, it was actually going up. It used to go up.
So then it looked like a stroke.
Basically. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You was explaining the 4 stages.
Yes. So the 4 stages of MS, you have I have my notes because I don't know out of my head, but CIS. So that's the clinically isolated syndrome, and more or less this syndrome, in this stage is like you don't necessarily get diagnosed with MS. You probably have some symptoms because MS mimics a lot of other symptoms from a lot of other things. You know. Then there's relapsing remitting MS. There's 4 stages, first of all. The first one is CIS. The second one is RRMS. That's relapsing remitting. That's the one that I have. And that's the one that when people get diagnosed, they are diagnosed with this one the most.
That's when you recognize
it. So that's the most common?
Yes. Okay. And then when you go on to SPMS. So that's secondary progressive MS. And this develops over time. Someone I know, for her, she had SPMS. She was so far gone that it was at the 3rd stage already.
So maybe, is it that because she was ignoring the signs, or?
It has to do with the relapses. She was getting a lot of relapses. So then she just gradually gone to the secondary progressive stage. Because these is where over time, the symptoms just keep on coming after the other, getting worse and worse. So for instance, if your gait used to be just short, you're going, limp a little more, you know, like that. And then the last stage is PPMS, that's primary progressive MS, and the symptoms just keep getting worse. So, like how I am at stage 2, I'm trying to stay there, trying to eat my best that I could, trying to, you know, keep up to date, trying to keep the stress level down, trying to balance things.
Yeah.
To, you know, remain at RRMS for as long as possible.
Yeah. So how are there treatments for MS?
Yes, very good question. There are treatments, but there is no cure. So my treatment is that every 6 months I take an IV infuse for about 4 to 5 hours, and that is the medication that I need for the next 6 months.
What's
that
an
is
IV infused really?
Into me. It is a mixture of medication that I get for the MS, for the symptoms. So I do that every 6 months. It is a mixture. I call it my little concoction of medications that I need, you know, specifically for my case. And it is not so that every MS person is on an IV infused. This is just the best for me.
Okay.
For instance, some persons have a pill that they take every day, or some persons are on injections that they take every month. So it's just, you know, what works for the person.
So that goes based on the doctor's recommendation?
Yes, I work closely with my neurologist on St. Martin, Dr. Carmen. Yeah, she helped me a lot. And then, you know, me and her, so we consult. She asked me, you know, how are you feeling? Anything you let me know. Email her, I let her know.
Yeah.
Last November, I went to do my 1-year checkup, and thank God, everything is good. Everything is even better than she expected.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, this is good. This is something you do." And I say, "It's not me, it's God, because you know, so it's good. I'm on the right track, and I just, you know, doing what I have to do." And trying to stay as positive as I can every day.
You need to. I'm going to touch on that topic just now, but before I wanted to know, do you experience pain? Because you talk about numbness. You know, some people might say, "Oh, okay, if I'm feeling pain, then I really got to go." But your concern was the numbness.
Never pain. My concern was how I sounded when the spasms was happening. My gait, like I falling down. The side, the movement, the speech, and the eyesight. That was my concern. Yeah, but never pain. I never had pain.
I know, like with Google, a lot of us, when something happened to us, we go and we look on Google immediately. And Google don't always give you the best motivating answer.
It gives you the extreme one.
It gives you the, even if it's a fever, they give you the most, because you didn't know as yet it was MS.
Well,
how did you manage to stay?
Well, that's why I told you I thought I had a tumor. And I was preparing myself to operate it and prepare my mom, because she went to Colombia with me.
Yeah.
I was preparing her to, you know, like what might come. Yeah. I did, when the MS was being flung out there a lot of time, I did go and, you know, like Google it and stuff. And Google was very positive for me. And they were like, you know, this is something you can live with. You don't necessarily have to die.
So that's
Treatment
good.
has come a long way since the last 20 years, and persons are living normal lives, and so. And I was like, okay. And then, you know, I really started to turn around how I thought about the diagnosis, because I say, you know something, I could have had Tourette's syndrome, where you just shaking up and saying things and just, could have blew you there, sitting there, just, you know, it could have been something else. It could have been Parkinson's. It could have been something else. Like, what is more, they are chronic diseases, but they're very deadly. It could have been something else. So I just say it's just MS. You know, it could have been worse. So I look at it like it could have been worse.
What's that? You say MS, it make me think, what's the abbreviation for that?
Yes, so MS stands for multiple sclerosis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it stands for.
Yeah, the earliest thing I can remember, it's kind of strange, but they used to see these advertisements on TV, and then asking you could be da so call this number, that.
Yeah.
So I could remember the name of it, but I never like to say, okay, let me go look into see. So it's good that we having this discussion so you could know exactly, because some people could never know.
No, it's true. It's true. And I tell you, like, I thought this was a white people disease. hobbies, you know. You know, I mean, I know my uncle had, and you know, they would talk about it, and I'm like, okay, you know. But, yeah, I never thought, like, it would be me. And I was like, how come my mom's children, I was never the sick one, you know. It was always them other two.
You always had.
You know, but, yeah, you know.
You was always healthy.
Yeah,
I was going to ask that.
I was always like, you know, good. I never like I do more medical stuff in the past 2-3 years than I did in my whole life. I never had an MRI. I never had you know, of course, you take blood.
Yeah.
But like those heavy things, I had feel like a proof name.
Yeah.
That is really something because you
Yeah.
really make me aware, like, okay, you know, like sometimes you say, okay, your blood works good, everything. You know, some people are saying the annual checkup, but
You know something? You must always listen to your body. Always listen to your body. That's why I know the first symptom.
yeah.
But I didn't, you know, listen to your body. Like if I did listen to that doctor and say, oh, my blood low, my blood does be low. But like it was never like had me seeing double it was bad.
Yeah.
It never had me like that. So, you know, listen to your body.
What was the doctor's reaction when she found out, well, he or she found out that you went to Colombia
I don't think she stuck around much to think because it, you know, those rotating doctors.
Oh,
But
okay.
for the doctors that were here present, it was like, wow, you know, we never had that. We learned about it in school and so we never got to see a patient with MS and so because the doctors up there, you know, they would see me and they'd be looking like, Ingra, that's you, you know. So yeah. I've come a long way.
And talking about family,
Yes.
how was their experience when you brought that forward to them?
Well, I know, of course, it had some uncertainty because, you know, they saw me deteriorating.
Yeah.
And I must say, my family was there for me 150% and beyond. If I didn't know that they did care for me and love me, I know now.
Yeah.
You know, they was there. They was really there for me. They was also we was going through it together. Uncertainty, I would say. Maybe a little fear, but uncertainty. I think the time where I saw the fear in my mom was when the doctor called back in the night to say I have to go do another MRI because they found something and they wanted to check. So I did have one MRI. They said it would have only be 45 minutes, but I end up in the MRI machine like for 2 hours.
Wow. Oh, wow. That will make you panic too, right?
Yes. Yeah. So they call back and I say, you see, mommy, I have a tumor. They see it.
Oh, you don't start
I convinced myself that it was a tumor.
You prepare yourself
in
that way.
Stop it. But then after, so they called back. Now we was in a hotel, and they called back, and it was like the neurologist he ordered MRI, but now of the head and the spine because they found lesions. So like, mommy, what's lesions?
You had to do your own research.
So then, because if I had lesions in my back, that mean it was spreading. Probably it wouldn't be RRMS anymore. It would be the others. So PPMS or SPMS it would have been. But thank God there was no lesions in my back.
Yeah.
And I did go to the MRI and they scheduled an MRI for 1:30 a.m. in the morning.
Wow.
And I went in the MRI.
1:30 a.m.
1:30 a.m.
Yeah.
And when I came out the MRI, the sun was rising.
Wow.
It took a lot of prayer, a lot of singing in my head, a lot of motivation, a lot of inspiration. And I thought on my uncle, the deceased Kilo, the most while I was in the MRI machine. Like, I don't know, he was just coming to me all the time. Like, I thinking about him, like, if he could have go through this because he did stem cell. And he had to go through more than me. So I was like, you know, you could do this.
Yeah.
You could do this. You got to be strong. You got to, I don't know. I was just thinking about him a lot. I don't know why.
Did he experience that or was something different?
No, not MS. He had multiple myeloma, blood cancer, cancer of the blood.
Oh, blood.
But he did not die from that.
Yeah.
But that's another issue for another day.
Yeah.
The negligence at St. Martin Medical Center. But that's for another day.
Yeah.
The keeping your morale is something very important. How important was it that you have such a strong support system?
Very important because I think if I didn't have it, look, going through the sickness already, you know, you don't know what's going on. Okay, but then when you find out, okay, they were there. But then when you're hearing all the rumors, they were there. And they put some people in their place. You know, but
A clapping enough.
yeah. But family, yeah, they were there, and I don't only mean my aunt, my mom and my dad, my sisters. I mean my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, my friends. You know, they were there.
That's really necessary.
They were there. Yeah.
I know sometimes people, when they are in a situation like maybe scares them, they just refrain from telling families. They keep it to themselves, or what do you think about that?
Okay, it depends on the person. You know, I don't know. No. But it's not everyone that has a family like mine. Let me start there.
Yeah.
So I couldn't see myself doing that. But probably they didn't have a family like mine. So they always just depend on themselves. And it's just, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know why someone wouldn't want to share, or even their immediate circle or friends. Because I feel like they are a part of you. They are a part of me. And I don't think I have anyone around me that I don't want to have around me. So that's why it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
That's really wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I see it. I don't have anybody that I don't want around me. I'm not fake. I can't be fake. And even more so now than before, I can't be fake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
It's just, I don't think I have. So that's why for me, it was easy for me to share with them. And even when I was uncertain, it was easy for me to share with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I could remember, like I had some, like, you know, dinner dates and so with some of my friends. And I was like, girl, I can't make it. I feel this way. Or like when I send a voice note and she heard how I sound, she's like, you stay home. I gonna come to you. You stay home. You know, stuff like that. So even if I wanted to hide, I couldn't hide because after a while, like I couldn't walk. To bathe myself was difficult. I used to do it, but it was difficult. Like if a bath used to take 10 minutes, it's taking 20 minutes now.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So I couldn't hide it.
Yeah.
I couldn't hide it, no.
Yeah. It was
Even if I
obvious.
wanted to.
Yeah.
Seeing you,
Yeah.
you seem so relaxed. You seem positive. You seem, like nothing ever happened to you.
Well, thank
You
God.
know?
Thank God. I just always say, thank God I don't look like what I've been through.
Yeah.
I thank God. But, you know, I don't think there's no other way. I can't be negative. I can't remain negative. Or even if I was thinking that way, I don't know. I just always look on the bright side.
You was always like that, or did MS change your perspective on life?
I think I was like this. I would like to think so, but I think more than before, I am more direct with it. Okay. I am more intentional. It is on purpose. Yeah. So if I do something, it's because I wanted to do it. It's more, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I see you touch on, for example, you're singing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Ooh.
Where did singing even start from?
Well, before we go to that, tell me about Ingra.
Ingra, wow, okay. I would like to think that I am a bubbly person. I am an extrovert. I love to sing. I love to learn about new cultures. I love to travel. I love to eat. I love food. I love God. Yeah. Yeah. My family is important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And extroverted. What are your extroverted qualities?
I like to go out and have fun. Good fun, you know. You won't catch me in a party every Saturday night or so, but good, genuine people around you. Sip and paint, dinner. Yeah. Something relaxing. Yeah. Something, you know, uplifting. You know, like, I mean, sometimes I like a good party, but, you know, that's me. And, you know, I like that, you know, if I have, like, I could call up my friend, we could talk on the phone, like, things like that. But also, sometimes I do like to be by myself, you know. Mm-hmm. So, but I am more extrovert than
more extroverted. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you enjoy your company more, being around people
yes,
than...
Yes, of course. I enjoy being around other people. Yes, I do. Yeah. I do.
Nice, because it's extrovert versus introvert here.
Not versus. We all living in one world together.
It's true. We all have to coexist, right?
Yes.
Hi. So you was briefly touching on the singing.
Yes.
How do you know you could have sing?
That's a very good question. I don't know that people just used to tell me, oh, you could sing, you sound good. But it started, I would say, my great-grandfather, Cecil Merkman. He used to have a steel band and he used to be playing it. And then I used to be next to him and he would say, sing, girl, sing. And I just used to sing because I like to.
Yeah.
You know? And then in church, then I would sing and so. And then there was the junior choir in church with brother and sister Van Potten. And I think that was my first solo in a junior choir. And then from there, it was like, girl, you could sing. And then I keep singing. That was it.
So it was true being in the church as well.
Yeah, I would say. And like my great-grandfather, he started it like, you could sing. Sing, girl, sing.
All you was at that time?
I could have been small. Like, I vaguely remember, but I could have been 3 or 4.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
I vaguely remember.
You were screaming a lot or so? Like,
Sorry,
your
if I
parents
was?
like screaming or... Because like your parents them could have see the signs from a young age. Like sometimes people say, that going to be a singer. Like if you was out, you know?
I don't know. My mom, she only said that I was more advanced. Like she said I walk at 9 months and I was speaking clear. Like I could speak clear, like no baby talk. And I would speak clear and so, but not that I know it is singing. My mom can't sing. Yeah, but my father can sing. But most people don't know, but he can sing. But my mom,
So you get different father.
yeah, but you know, her side gonna say, I got it.
Well, they're going to see this.
Yeah, and then they let them debate. Yeah.
And from the singing, you stepped into, you have Vocé Dynamico.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Oh, wow. I can't, I don't even know how we started because we used to sing in church. So me, Ursula, we used to sing we just used to sing so. And then Vashti, I don't know how that happened, but I could remember like the first official with our name, I think it was a little before COVID. Mm-hmm. It was, they had a mother-daughter pageant in the...
From Do You Together?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that was our first...
That was in
I don't
the
want
sports
to,
auditorium?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that was the first one because I know Vashti going to pull me up on it if that was not the case. But I cannot remember how we came together as singing, but we just click and we sing.
Yeah.
But it came out of church.
It came out of church.
Yeah.
That's one thing I can say. The SDA church has a lot of good singers.
Yeah, we
I
just
always
sing.
say that. I say like, where'd it come from? SDA church.
Yeah. It came out of church, and then we just continue singing.
But you all had trainings like coaches within the choir.
Vashti, I know her background is music. She did something with music, a music teacher or so. I never had any formal training, but I used to go to voice training lessons by teacher Cecilia.
Yeah.
Cecilia Gittins. I also got the opportunity to sing for the opening of the Kingdom Games in 1999, and then I think in 2008, and on St. Martin, they had this lady, Anastasia Lamrany. Mm-hmm. She's a music teacher. She, was well known. And I got some training from her, stage presence, performance, and stuff like that. Also being a part of the Aloe dance company,
From St. Martin.
performing arts company.
Here.
No, all of this on Curaçao. I had to go to Curaçao for the Kingdom Games, so I got a little training like that, but nothing formal. Mm-hmm. And then my sister and Ursula, I don't think they have any formal. They sing from in church. Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So you just briefly touch about the Aloe.
Yes.
How you entered through it?
Well, the Aloe, I got. Okay, I could have been.
Because that's more dancing, right?
And it was more. It's a performing arts, so it's singing, dancing, and drama.
Okay.
So I think maybe I got involved in it through the singing. It was through the singing, but I end up dancing. And now I'm gonna be acting. So everybody come out and support the Color Purple on April the 5th.
Yeah.
My character is Show Gavery. I know you don't expect it from me, but I'll try to give you all a show. No, so it started, I think, through the singing, because we had to go to Curaçao for a program. I can't remember which, what organization was giving the program, but went on the aloe, and from then I stick with them.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the event. I briefly
Yes.
But we're gonna be
saw.
there for sure.
Yes,
Yeah,
good.
I got my ticket.
Good,
I briefly
good.
saw the little introduction from People Snippets.
Yes.
From
The skit at
the
the
gala,
table
women's
scene.
gala.
Yeah.
yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I saw you. I said, this one will be really interesting.
Yes.
Like everybody enjoy it.
Yes.
And that was
So-
really like a preview.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess that was the idea, to get people talking about it, to get people interested, to get people excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is different because for an event like that, you usually have singing,
All of that is part of it. They're going to have
But
singing,
now you got act through it.
dancing, and acting.
I know it's
Yeah.
gonna be entertaining for sure.
Yeah. So
I'm looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it.
it will
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Is it your first time acting?
I think so. Because the first play that they had was Cinderella.
Yeah.
Yes, I watched
remember
that
one
too.
Yeah.
I
was-
didn't have such a big role. I just did the intro dance. I had a song to sing in the end, and I was a part of the extras for the ball scene. But
Oh, yeah.
never that I had to speak on the mic
Yeah.
and to act. So I think this is my debut.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
A lot of times when we have the podcast, we like to speak about mental health.
It's very important.
And the importance of it. What does mental health mean to you?
Okay, I can be honest with you. At first, I used to say, like, why we even have to talk about this? Like, people have to know themselves and know that if you know it's too much, you got to do something. But I realized that throughout your daily life, you have your work life, you have your family life, you have your hobbies and other things that you want to do. With all of that, and maybe even sickness and so, with all of that on top of just on your head, you need an outlet. You need something, whether it's speaking to somebody, whether it's singing, whether it's painting, whether it's writing in a journal. You need something, but how am I to know what I need? So I
Yeah.
think that's where mental health comes into play. And I think, well, I'm somebody, like, I will go searching. Like, I will look up, like, what's the best way to relax and unwind? Like, for maybe a specific thing that I want. And then I will see it and like, okay, but a lot of times I think it's taboo. And I think when people hear mental health, they think about a shrink that you have to
Yeah.
be
God, it was
on
about
the
a
mental
shrink.
health.
Yeah.
Yes.
And, but your mental health could be just taking a break from the phone. It could be going for a walk on the beach,
Yeah.
reading a nice book, just sipping a coffee or tea and just
Yeah.
relaxing. It could be that too. That's how I see it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
know? And I try as much as possible to take the time that I need. So that's why I tell everyone around me, if you see me like speaking a little slow, a little spacey, I think just give me some grace.
Yeah.
Or please don't say the thing, or be clear. Don't go all around station, and then because that too for me is for my mental health.
Yeah.
And also the biggest step that I made starting this year for my mental health was I cut some of my hours at work.
Okay.
I know that I needed that
Yeah.
because apart from working now, I am also studying to be an elementary school teacher.
Oh,
Really
wow.
good.
Yeah.
We need that.
Wow.
So I know that I can't do everything. I'm
Yeah.
not Superwoman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to
Yeah.
balance it out and do what was best for me.
What
Was
is-
that something you always wanted to do?
Yes, but how do you say? I was trying to play big. No. From in elementary school, from in like maybe first grade till like 4th, 5th grade, I know every time a teacher asks you, where you want to be, Ingra? Teacher.
From
But then I got down big school and so on, I was like, I don't know. Then I went to St. Martin for half and I was like, I don't know. Then I learned about this study that I did. I actually have a bachelor's of science in hospitality and tourism management with a minor in business administration. And that study was looking so good because I got to study in Holland, I got to study in Orlando, and so on. It was nice. I worked at Disney. It was nice.
Oh,
but then
okay.
coming back to reality, and I was like, I don't think I want to work in the hospitality industry. I should have just studied teaching.
Yeah.
Everybody, not everybody, but most persons, and especially someone I went to school with on Curaçao, she told me, she said, Ingra, you should be a teacher. And she always does tell me so. And then I was like, you know something? I should have do that. And then I was
Yeah.
like, getting back in that mood, like resenting, like I shoulda. And then the opportunity presented itself, and I was like, I am.
Yeah.
Not I should have. I am going to.
Yeah.
And I did it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
here I am.
So, sometimes people just be like, they can't figure out what they actually wanted. You can say like you was in that space that you just decided like, you know what, I'm just going to take this. Or did you had a interest in that area, in that field?
In hospitality and
first?
tourism.
Yeah.
You know how the study was sold to me? It was so attractive. Yes, I do have a little love for the service industry, but not here on Stacia. If I got the opportunity to go back to Orlando and work for Disney, not in the position that I was in, because I was working in the front office, so that's as a receptionist and so, but like more back of the house, I would take it.
Why
would
not
take
on
the
Stacia?
opportunity. Because our people is not ready for the hard work that it takes to have that customer service. I don't know if you realize if you ever went to the USA, you realize that before you even step into the door, they greet you.
Yes.
Before you could do certain things, and I don't mean when you're in a shop and somebody bothering you, miss, I can help you with something. I don't mean like that. Yeah. They acknowledge you. They'll make you feel like you're the most important thing, even though it have 50 other people in the shop.
Yeah.
I don't think like we're ready for that, and I don't know what it would take. Our people are too dependent on the government. First of all, let's begin there. They're too dependent on the government for everything, and until that shifts the mindset that they have to give service to get service and then to get money, and so everything is like social free and so, and a lot of things I don't agree with, but I wouldn't do it here.
Yeah.
Kudos to those that do it here and they have it. That's good, but I wouldn't do it here.
So on the island right now, they're really working on bringing more tourism to Stacia. I think they did a study on how much tourism, and they realized that really the tourism to Stacia is business tourism or work tourism. What was the term? I can't remember it. But it's mainly for that. So it's not like we really have tourists coming in.
I think, and I did my thesis on advertising Stacia as a destination for lesbian, gays, bisexual, and transgender. Back in those days, like 10, 12 years ago, that's all the acronyms they had. Now they have more.
Yeah.
And based on my thesis, it came out that we're not ready for that. We wasn't then ready for that as yet. Now, of last year sometime, the resort, they had that they was advertising to that community.
I
and
that.
They stayed there and
Yes,
everything.
yes.
And some persons in the community was like, oh my, it's not good. But I say it's a double-edged sword, because I don't know how much money they actually spend to the locals. Like how much, probably the resort was good. And then the other side of the sword is that, well, at least Asia's known now, but with everything that you do, you have to look at it. What is the pros? What is the cons? And stuff like that. And, we sometimes get cruise ships coming in, but I ask myself, how much do those persons actually spend here on the island? You're on a cruise, you maybe buy a bottle of water and a souvenir, and then you go back.
Yeah.
We have to look at a niche tourism. A niche meaning a smaller market that we could specifically market to. So maybe it could be divers. Because then they would stay more than one day. It could be people who like nature and tranquility. And it could even be for the races, because when those people come in here, they just spend. So
that's for sure.
It could be, we have, so it's not that we're hopeless. We have different niche that we can use. It is just for those persons who have the ideas to come forward and do what they have to do. But it won't be me. So. It won't be me.
Yeah. Glad that you bring that up. You talk about service. You say you don't think we're there yet.
No. Look, before I started working at Disney, I had to be 2 weeks in Disney University. I had to learn.
Oh, I didn't know they had all of that.
They have a Disney University.
Oh.
I had to learn their jargon. So how they say stuff, how they point. Because we just point like this. At Disney, you have to point like this.
Okay. What's the difference?
When you point like that, it look like, this is
could
more.
be anything.
Yes, so you see,
Okay.
you see stewardess, they point like this as
Yes,
well.
that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
How you present yourself, how you dress. I couldn't have this color on working for Disney. Your uniform. Actually, it's not called a uniform.
It's a code.
Your uniform is called a costume.
Okay.
And when you are in the front where people can see you, you are on stage. Where nobody can see you, you are backstage.
Okay.
There's a way you walk and you pick up something. You walk and you pick it up and you go. You don't walk, stop, bend down, pick up. You walk, scoop up and go. All kind of things you had to learn.
Wow.
You had to learn some Disney history. You had to learn different things. But looking at that, it helped me a lot. I still as point like this. I still as pick up like that. Certain things I just think about.
Yeah.
And of course, working for Disney in Orlando, you got a lot of benefits.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
But the
I wanna-
experience was very good.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you, seeing at the beginning of the conversation, we was talking about MS a lot.
Yes.
And it's not quite a conversation that I hear much on the island. Do you have anything planned in your mind that you feel like you want to do for the island itself?
Very good question. Like how they have the breast cancer awareness and so, because, it's more prevalent. That's what we see. We know it's there.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I'm looking more for next year, March, for MS awareness. That I would, you see the t-shirt that I'm wearing, it says in
Yes.
March we wear orange for multiple sclerosis awareness. Like I would like to have some more of those t-shirts. And then, of course, the money wouldn't go to me. I want to donate the funds that was collected for the t-shirts to the MS community on Curaçao.
Yeah.
Because they are really trying to build it up. And I would fall under the community of Curaçao, the MS
Yeah.
community of Curaçao. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. And also to stay posting facts on my WhatsApp. And so, just to...
Yeah. Well, thank
Keep
you for that, because
persons
that's how I
aware.
saw it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was aware.
Yeah, that's what my plans are. And then for May the 30th, which is World MS Day, to also observe that. And so, yeah.
Okay.
I'll be looking forward to it for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, going back to tourism, what do you think we can improve when it comes to service?
I think service is it's that up there. You could teach somebody something 100 times, but if it ain't in here and inside here, they ain't gonna get it. It's like teaching somebody with a very good voice how to sing and have stage presence. How you gonna do that? You need to have it, like, even if the person can sing but they don't have stage presence, who gonna invite them again to sing? Like, I don't know. It's like,
It's true, you do have some artists when you see them, or they ain't gonna say
you're like, oh no, I wouldn't pay to see there again. Or, not even if it were free.
Yeah.
It is like that. You have to have it.
Yeah.
I can't explain it no other way. You have to have it.
I see you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, right? I don't think I could really sing a song if I don't feel a connection to it. It's bad, but
Yeah.
even if the connection is just like, good example, The Color Purple. When teacher Christina told me that I'm going to play Sugar Avery, I told her, you sure? Because I thought she would have put me to play Celie because she more timid and shy and humble and kind of like me. She's like, no, you're going to be a good Sugar. I'm like, what? This woman is sassy. She laced,
But you sassy.
Yeah, but I still feel like it was a little, how you say it?
Over.
I was a little intimidated by the role. So I went to watch The Color Purple. I watched it, the new one then. I watched it over and over again. I'm like, okay, I could play show.
Yeah.
I could play, So it just, I had to look at it, find a connection, and then I could do what I have to do. Nice.
So you really have to put yourself in that role,
Yes. So if you just, back to tourism and the service industry, if you just go into work because you need to get paid at the end of the month,
Yep.
you're already gone wrong. Yeah.
So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Going into teaching.
Yeah. So
What really say you have that touch, like that interest?
Okay. A lot of people, when I say a lot of people around me like, you crazy girl, them children rude.
Did I say this? This generation?
Yeah, they easy and so and so. But I realized from a long time, like, I was 4, so my sister was 2. And I used to be teaching her. Then when I was 6, I could remember teaching her ABCs and things. And a lot of times my sister had to skip class, but they was like, and my mother was like, no, leave her stay in the class and thing, till she eventually became the class clown because she was bored, you know? Yeah. So like I think, and now I have my niece, she's there, I enjoy. I have Jaden and Aiden, and with that I see like,
they're like yours, right?
Yeah, they're like mine. So like I see, like, I know that I have the calling. I know that, although the people say, God, you crazy, them children, they don't listen. But, and I'm not just doing it for the paycheck and the vacation days.
For sure. So
because what paycheck? But then the vacation days, I'm not doing it just for that.
That's nice though. Yeah. I really like that you venture into that field because that's really needed, especially because you're a local.
Yes.
We need more of that.
Yeah.
Because I enjoy that field as well.
Yeah.
Working with children and being there for them.
Yes.
Yeah. There's we want to thank you for coming out and talking on the podcast and especially bringing light to MS. I think that a lot of persons watching the episode are gonna be enlightened and learn a lot about it. Like I said in the beginning of the episode, I talked about to subscribe to the channel. We need persons to at least 72% of you all are not subscribed to the channel. So please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell as much as possible. I see my wife giving me.
Yes. I want to know, is there anything you want to leave behind to the community?
Sure. So first of all, thank you all for the opportunity and the platform. And I want to let the community know that, because we're talking about MS, but some persons going through other things, some other sickness or whatever, stay positive. We are a praying community and prayer works. Prayer works. Again, thank God I don't look like what I went through.
Amen.
You give me a question to ask. You can answer it if you want.
Yeah.
Because it kind of, it's up to you if you want to answer it. They have times that, like I said, persons wait for referral, and some persons just pick up and go. But there are persons that can't afford to do that, right?
Yeah.
And all they could do is hit the wall as much as possible and hope that, and sometimes it ends up with unfortunate situations happening. What do you think needs to change?
Wow. Recently I was informed that our hospital and our doctors here have a lot more power that they either think they have or that they are telling their patients. So for someone out there who doesn't have the financial backing to pick up and go St. Kitts or pick up and go Colombia, continue going to your doctor. And if that doctor ain't not helping you, go to our next one. But, you have to be heard. Don't stop fighting for yourself. Don't stop. That's it. Don't stop. Yeah.
I guess I just say I had to ask that question because it's just on my mind.
Yeah. No, but it's true. They have some persons that they can't.
Yeah.
And, it's so unfortunate that the processes and the procedures and the institutions put in place to assist us sometimes isn't or passing the blame to another one. Yeah. Whereas our doctors at Queen Beatrix Medical Center have a lot more, power in even their referrals than they let on. So keep fighting.
Thank you for sharing that.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like I say here on Jackie Imagery, the talk, capture the moment, watch it forever. See you guys in the next episode. This episode is going to be, I'm happy that we actually get to end off the month of March with MS because it will be coming out, well, you could say, March.
In March.
Yeah, March 29th. So we're still going to be in March. So
Yes.
I'm glad we get to round off March in a good way,
Yes.
an enlightening way. And we're looking forward. If you need me to help you with anything, I'm there to help.
Thank you.
It's not a lot of times people would watch these things and think that everything I have to do have to come with money. It does not.
Yes.
Sometimes I
Yeah.
want to do things that can make an impact to the community. So I ain't saying it just on the podcast. If you do need help in certain things, whether it's pictures, whether it's certain things, I'm willing to help. You don't have to pay. You don't have to anything like that. For causes like this,
Yeah.
I like to
Okay.
do these things like that.
Thank
So-
you, and it's good to know. It's good to know.
So thank you guys for watching. See you guys in the next episode. Bless.